So the person asks, I'd like to talk about sleep and methods to help with sleep. I'm having a very hard time with that lately. It's since some surgery that may be part of it, but it's been a problem for quite a while. So let's go into some of the things that we know about sleep. One of the first things we know about sleep is it's super, super important. In all of the research that's been done on pain and sleep, if you have poor sleep the night before, it's very likely that you'll have a little bit more intense pain the next day. So this is one of the reasons why often whenever people have very intense pain, we prioritize some of the sleep tracks in the app, because if you have a baseline solid sleep routine in place, it really supports your nervous system, your ability to regulate your stress levels, and it helps your sleep or your pain as well. So one of the things, if you look at the whole literature of sleep, one of the most important things to look at is the time that you wake up and the importance of waking up at the same time each morning if possible. This is more impactful than how many hours of sleep you get each night, and more impactful than when you fall asleep. Meaning, theoretically, you could fall asleep at different times every night, get various amounts of sleep, but as long as you're waking up at the same time each morning, that's one of the things that hormonally sets your biorhythms for the day and is really powerful. So if, for instance, you're looking to establish a really strong sleep schedule, I strongly, strongly recommend waking up at the same time each day if possible. The other thing is to create a bedtime ritual and make it a habit. This is something that we talk about in some of our sleep tracks as well. But if you think to yourself, what are the recipes for winding down at the end of the night and creating a ritual that really embodies that? One of the other things I'd suggest, because of, even if you have a sort of an ideal environment, what are the thoughts in your head right before you go to sleep? Sometimes they can be worrying or anxiety provoking. And I find that it really helps whenever you try to craft or have some sort of last thought before you fall asleep that you can choose. For instance, this might be something you read or a favorite quote, or it might be a prayer, or it may be what you want tomorrow to be like. But you can choose what are the last thoughts you have before you fall asleep by thinking about this. And also, if you notice that you're starting to worry a bit, you can purposefully infuse some of those thoughts with more positive thoughts. And also creating a positive wake-up ritual. A lot of people that Vlad and I have spoken with recently, I'm not sure if it's recent, but they wake up with anxiety first thing in the morning. And sometimes it's just out of nowhere. Sometimes there are thoughts associated with it. Sometimes it's just really powerful and it's in your body and it's just anxiety. And so what I strongly recommend also is creating something that you think about or read or recite very, very first thing before you check your email, after you turn off the alarm, but one of the very, very first things you do to set the emotional tone for the day. Because if you wake up and you just, whatever happens, whatever grabs your attention first, if that's the thing that shapes the beginning of your day, it can be a lot more chaotic of a start to the day. Versus here, you're purposefully choosing, you're intentionally choosing how you want to think whenever you first wake up or how you want to feel. This doesn't have to be words. This could be a movement practice or gentle stretching in bed, or rolling on your back, massaging your back muscles. It can be anything that you like, but it's something you're choosing before you let your attention go anywhere else outward. You're choosing where your attention goes. The other thing that's just a practical point is reducing screen time before bed. And I think many of us are guilty of not doing this because it's so easy. But blue light really does disrupt biorhythms. the blue light from screens, from phones, from laptops. And there is actually some really strong evidence in animals showing that blue light, not only does it disrupt the sleep-wake cycle of the animals, but also there are some other health effects that it can impact. And I don't really want to go there because it's sort of out of the range of this discussion, but I do recommend sort of a warm light filter, but just avoiding phones and devices late at night will help you with sleep and with the quality of your sleep. There are some people also, we are electrical beings. All of our nerves work through electrical impulses. It's called an action potential. You don't have to go into any woo-woo area or conspiracy theory, anything like that, to be able to appreciate that as people, as human beings run on electricity, we are affected by electrical devices in our environment. So I do suggest moving the phone or the laptop away from the body, rather than, for instance, sleeping with the phone by the head. And some people even feel some relief and get better sleep whenever they unplug their Wi-Fi router. And again, it's just, if our bodies are having a period during sleep where we're relaxing, extra electrical activity can interfere with that. So it's just a matter of moving things that, out of the environment that might disrupt the sleep quality. And also I suggest supporting yourself if you do feel fatigued, supporting yourself with short naps or meditations, or with nature grounding throughout the day. Because sometimes it isn't always possible to get high quality sleep, but you can get other forms of rest that your body will benefit from as well. And there are a few questions here. Beth, got it. Also, I have a comment from Carrie. Which one is Carrie, can you clarify what you find yourself resisting?
Waking up at the same time every day.
Okay. Okay.
I guess that relates to someone else put something in there, like, what about the weekend wake up time? Because I just sleep in then. And I really, when that sleep track comes up, I'm like, I'm not that content right now. Let's go to something else.
Okay. Well, and these are things that are general. If you feel like your body wants something different, go with what your body needs. For instance, if there's a period of time whenever your body is working on processing a lot of something, I've in my interactions with people with pain, people have needed a lot more sleep lately than they have normally. I don't know why. It could just be recovery from the collective stress that's going on right now. So for example, if I just need more sleep, give it to your body. Absolutely. So what your body needs trumps any of my suggestions any day. So please, so I'm glad you mentioned your resistance, Carrie. So I can affirm that if you feel your body needs something different, give it what it wants. Absolutely.
I was just going to delve into what is behind the resistance. And your response to me is much more compassionate and softer and kinder. So thank you for
Absolutely.
that reminder versus like berating myself for resisting this. It's like even that language, right, is like constricting me further. So thank you.
You're welcome. And I totally I totally understand I understand both parts of it, but I say that specifically because a lot of people recently have needed sometimes 10 hours of sleep a day, like more sleep than normal. And if, for instance, you're going through a very stressful life event, or you're just feeling, because a lot of us are very sensitive people, if you're feeling the intensity of what the world is going through right now, you may need extra sleep, and that's okay. You may find yourself needing to take a 2 or 3 hour nap in the middle of the day. And if your body is just asking for it, go for it. There's no, like, what that is it's your body's internal compass saying, whatever I'm going through right now, I need more rest. So give the body more rest if she wants it, or if he wants it. Zach says, I found allowing myself more flexibility about when I go to sleep and wake up has actually helped to lower stress. Okay, rather than feeling consistent. Okay, so Zach, again, that sounds like you're listening to your body, which is fantastic. And you know, I think also the intention matters. You know, if the intention is reducing any anxiety about having to keep up a specific schedule, then it's net positive. So in any of these things, if the idea of waking up at the same time each morning, the intention there is to give your body predictability, which a lot of people benefit from strongly. However, if you know your body and you know that it needs something more, or if it needs something different, go for what your body needs. And again, Jen mentioned what about the weekend? If you want to sleep in because you can, then that might be your body asking for more sleep and more rest, and you should definitely go with it. Regarding of the phone or devices, something I've heard is about 6 feet. I would have to look at studies to look at how far electrical fields travel for, and the body has its own electrical field, but 6 feet is a decent thing. The thing is if you have if you have your alarm on it, you'd want it loud enough to where you can hear your alarm. So that's one thing to think about. And Joe says, one thing that helps me and my husband sleep better is ambient or solfeggio music and sound. That's fantastic. And actually, that'll be a great segue to the next thing, because we're going to be discussing some frequency music. And it also may give a little bit of although I don't think, Joe, you need any reason, any rational reason to help you understand why it just feels good to have that ambient or solfeggio music in the background. There is a logic to it, which is pretty cool. But again, it's another external message that you're sending to your body that you're safe, you're relaxed. So that's fantastic. I love that.